Hey, Paul.
Oh, hi.
How are you?
I am doing just fine. How are you?
Could be better, could be worse. Could be better, could be
Could be
worse.
better, could be worse. Surely you're recharged from some time off over the Christmas break.
That is true. That is true. I am. And I can't seem to find where I can get our names up here. Here we go. There we go.
See, it's been so long, you forgot how to do your job.
It's true. That is very true. So, uh, so before we go any farther, who are you?
I am Paul Tchaikovsky, and I am a managed OpenShift black belt over at Red Hat. So I focus on all of our managed services, or we call them cloud services now, which is basically shorthand for uh, we and our partners, AWS and Azure, will and IBM will run your OpenShift for you, and you can just use it. So it sort of acts like a EKS or AKS, just with a lot more stuff included because it's full OpenShift.
Nice.
And who are
And
you?
yes, hi. I'm JJ Asgar. It's we got our good friend Kevin watching our stream right now. Hello, Kevin.
Oh,
Uh,
perfect.
yes.
He can laugh at
Uh,
our pathetic attempts at writing Python later.
it's true. That is true. Um, so yes, hi. I'm a developer advocate for the IBM Cloud, and uh, through last year, um, Paul and I kind of came together and did some cloud native things on our Thursday streams, and we've got some really good feedback from people about it. Um, so we are going to continue this year, hopefully. Um, and but today we are going a little different path. We're not doing cloud native things, mainly because it's the beginning of the year and there's a lot of things up in the air. So we're not going to look at anything specific. We're just going to go back to some fundamentals because it's usually a good idea to do at the beginning of the year. And it seems that my OBS is acting up. So give me 2 seconds here. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Um, so yes, um, then honestly, we might even just bring Kevin in just to help us out in a little bit here. Um, so over the break, I tried to do nothing computer wise, just because that's what you're supposed to do. And um, I came back and I needed to do some administration work around some of the things I've been doing. And I started researching into ways to do things other than Bash, and I rediscovered Python. Uh, if you remember a stream to ago that Paul and I did, I walked through a Flask app that I'd accidentally written that basically wrapped a bunch of Bash to do a bunch of serverless stuff for us. Um, so I figured today Paul and I could spend some time doing some administrative things and or some Python development work live to kind of see and kind of get that muscle back up and running. So Paul, um, the so there's a bunch of different standard ways or like de facto standards of Python plugins or modules, I should say. Um, what are there some of those modules off the top of your head that you are comfortable with using?
None of them.
Okay, all right, that's a valid answer. Um, so there's one out there called requests that is a way to call HTTP endpoints or any types of things that take endpoints out at the back. There's also there's the RE um, module or standard module to do uh,
Regex.
regex. Thank you. And there's a few others here and there. And I tried to find something that we could kind of scrape against that we could do some logic with. And I kind of came up with this crazy idea that maybe we could throw together here because we're gonna need uh, some type of long term storage because it's gonna run every 20 minutes. We're gonna need a way to get some information to see if it changed, and then alert us if it changed, if not, back and forth.
Wait, hang on. If what changed?
I was about to get to that.
Okay.
Um, so I know for a fact we all hate, with tongue in cheek, the crypto ecosystem, but surprisingly, the APIs for a lot of the
Dude, if
crypto.
you're tricking me into writing some Web3 stuff, I'm going to be really mad.
No, it's not. It's not. It's the whole point is to learn how to get the logic done inside of Python to do it, but the number will change drastically, which is just like looking at um, a random API endpoint to see the cost of like Bitcoin, for instance, right?
Okay.
So as I walk through this, it'll kind of make more sense. But the idea is, um, I think it would be neat if we had something that ran every 20 minutes, looked at what the last cost was, and if it changed n number of percent that we can change, it will say it'll like send us a notice or send us an email or whatever, after the fact. So then you can kind of see, you take this information from point A, check it against what you have in your system, point B, and if that number is changed by 10%, 20%, whatever, 5%, it will send information to another endpoint. So we learn how to build the logic of that thing, because then we can leverage that in other places, right? Because say for instance, if you're doing system administration and you needed to see like, I know load doesn't mean anything, but if the load average changed n%, you can have this logic here while we walk through it in Python compared to Bash or something like that to get that logic. Do you see where we're going with this? I couldn't think of anything else.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess I see what you're saying. So basically, you want to scrape a URL, get some kind of JSON back, and
Yep.
then do something with that data, and
Yeah.
then scrape it again 20 minutes later.
Yeah, pretty much. And
Right.
but compare it to that initial scrape, right? Because maybe you change that instead of every 20 minutes, you have multiple ones of this information, and we can like dump it into a CSV or something like that. Like, and then we can attach pandas to it to make pretty graphs. I don't know, things like
Right.
that. Like it opens up. Like I wanted to kind of just spend this hour to build that initial groundwork of it.
All right. So
Um,
how about we tackle it this way?
hmm,
We get something that'll scrape a an endpoint and stick the results in a database,
yeah,
and
that's you.
that's our one thing, right?
Sure.
And then if we want to have something that actually um, like does some calculations across it and determines if it needs to be in action, that should be a completely separate process.
Cool. Yeah. Sound
Yeah.
great.
Okay.
Yeah. So so yeah, let me share my screen here, and I'm doing this and going to be doing this in VS Code. So Paul, you can jump in to the thing if you use the VS Code Live thing if you want.
Oh,
Um,
sure. We can figure that out.
yep. And that's another kind of thing we can kind of do while we're doing this. So we move this over here, and then we'll hide this. So let's do mkdir. Um, stream. Day today. 2216.
And then Kevin suggested that once we've written the app, we can screenshot it and we can mint an NFT of the screenshot, and then he'll buy it from us.
Perfect. I
But you have to
expect
cover
nothing.
gas.
Oh damn! All right. Well, that might be a problem. All right.
Well, look out. Apparently, we're storing it in an IO dick.
Ooh, I don't know what that means. All right. I'm
Kevin
gonna have
says
to.
it's a shameless plug, and therefore I'm going to guess it is his thing.
So, Paul, I just sent you the link, and if I do this now, and then take this away, take that away, should be able to see a VS Code instance. Wait for you to join. .py. So we have it there, and then create a terminal.
I'm
And
attempting to open it inside VS Code. Please hold. Create a virtual environment because I'm a good Python person. Wait, how did you create a virtual environment?
Python 3.
Oh, I wasn't looking at you. Whoops, I wasn't looking at at the code bit at the bottom. I thought you had some magic.
I probably do somewhere.
VS Code plugin to do it.
Yeah. Oh, it does automatically. Now that it saw it, it actually does it. Still waiting for you to join.
Yeah, okay. Apparently I have to install an extension.
Pip install. So I'm going to install requests first because I like requests a lot. It makes a lot of sense to me.
Now, remind me, does that doesn't automatically update requirements.txt, does it?
No, we have no requirement. Like when you want to do requirements, you do pip freeze.
That's it.
Yep, and then it's done it all for us. So before we release it, that's what we should do. But right now, it's we don't even have a real. Actually, that's a good idea. Okay, so because we are good citizens, we are going to create README.
And you want a license file too?
Well, we'll get to license when we decide to do more. Let's actually do a README of TBD. So scope. This application will scrape against a public API and input the data into. You want to do a SQL or a SQLite, or what do you want to do?
Kevin wants us to use IODict.
Oh, it's actually a thing. I thought he was being a joke.
I mean, he probably is being a joke, but it is also a real thing.
Oh, cool. All right. Yeah, let's do that. Sounds good.
Yeah. Otherwise, because we're doing JSON blobs, we could also use something that's JSON object friendly, like Mongo or some garbage like that.
No. Let's. Kevin's here, and hell, why not? Give me a second here. Where are you, Kevin? There you are. There you go, Kevin. You can. I just sent you a link. You can hop on if you want. If you want to walk us through using this thing. So I found this. Oops, I did not find that. So there's a very nice, straightforward tracker here.
Mm-hmm.
That the API is literally this, where we can do like the symbol here, BTC, and it gives us a ton of data about what is going on. So we could just really easily just scrape against this. That we don't have to check it against what's it called, API keys or anything like that. We can just be like, hey, just join us, kind of thing, or connect to this and pull directly from here. We don't have to think about it. You think that's reasonable?
Sure.
It's called Misari, if anyone's curious. Seems to seems to be pretty accurate from the other ones I've been looking at too. I'll throw this in the chat so people can see that if they so choose.
So I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but VS Code really does not want to open your thing. I'll just try it in the web.
Is it just like failing?
It likes to
Oh,
connect, but it's not actually showing me your stuff. Oh, maybe you just weren't accepting me. Huh.
Yeah, I didn't realize I had to accept you. Okay, there you go.
All right, we'll have it open in the web. We'll see how it works.
Well, here, drop out real quick. We gotta wait for Kevin to join us anyway. So drop out and try to do through VS Code. Maybe I have to. You're right. I have to click on something.
All right, let me try again. It remembers my cookie saying to use it, so I think I'm stuck using it.
Oh, boo. Oh.
It's fine.
It's coming in.
Yeah, this is still just the.
Oh, okay.
The web thing.
All right. So scrape against an API. So one of the example APIs we're going to use is it's just Bitcoin. It's easy. Everybody knows what it is.
Right.
And example API we scrape against. So we run this script program indefinitely, and it pulls every 20 minutes. So I think it would be neat if we do it this way, right? So then we have to create a little way to run the application indefinitely, right? I'm spelled indefinitely wrong, I know. And then every 20 minutes, it pulls against this and then puts this into IO dict. Seem like a reasonable thing?
Sure.
And you're doing the if the main thingy.
Yeah. I figured I'd just throw some scaffolding up while you were getting the README going.
Sounds good. Well, hello there, sir.
That URI there is way wrong. This is from the wrong place.
Hello.
How are you? Can you hear us? You can't hear us, can you?
I
said
don't
hello.
hear you through at least my headset. I cannot.
No? How about now? Ooh, I hear an echo in me.
Negative, Ghost Rider.
Kevin's brand new to communicating over the internet, so it's a bit rough.
It's true. It's true. It's a scary thing.
Oh, no, I got you now.
Oh, there he
Do
is.
you? Oh, are you sure?
There we are. Yeah, I'm good to go now.
Yay.
First time on this restream thingamy.
Yeah, it's solid, man. It really is. And they're based out of Austin, if you didn't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's good. Support local.
Exactly. Okay, so by the way, Kevin, I sent you the link for the live share if you want to join in. It seems it works fine in the web, which is always nice. So yes, how about you talk to us about IO dict? I guess now.
Sure. So yeah, the IO dict was we were Well, let me pull up here.
You want me
Sorry.
to you want to share your screen? I can bring that in instead.
Oh no, I'll just I'm looking at your screen now. So
Okay.
there's the I was seeing if I can get to the Visual Studio Code thingamy, but anyway, the IODict. IODict is it's a dictionary implementation that uses your file system, and so it came about because we were doing this other project, which is linked to in .org. And without going too far into that, we just needed something that was able to create local data, basically store local data in a dictionary format that didn't require any other dependencies. We were using a caching library, which was great. It was fantastic, but we ran into problems with it because it wasn't packaged. It wasn't packaged in the Red Hat ecosystem and that we were trying to build things for. And so we could have gone through the process of implementing it and packaging it in Fedora and all that, or we could just write an implementation that didn't have any dependencies. So we did that and we got it all tested, and then we integrated it into the core project. So it is standalone as a thing that you can use, but it is it's vendored in the core project. So that's what it came about.
Nice. So now you need to explain to us what Director D is.
We'll save that for another stream, I guess.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah. But Director D is it's a deployment automation tool.
Perfect, because we needed another one of those.
You did. You didn't know that you did, but you in fact did. Yeah. It's a deployment automation tool that's it's messaging backed. So it uses actually by default it uses gRPC, but it is that's new, relatively new. It used to use 0MQ, and it can also use AMQP if you wanted to. But its claim to fame is kind of like, remember when we were all those many moons ago, we were talking about Octi, right? And I was doing it was like an SSH driven thing that was taking container files and executing them. Yeah. That back in the day. Well, it took kind of that concept and implemented it in a little different way. Instead of using SSH, this is all messaging driven. So when it's fast is really what it boils down to. Like 1,000 tasks can be executed in about 20 seconds on a local machine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we scaled that out to 150 nodes very recently and deployed our favorite cloud tool and via package, and was able to get all that done in about 11 minutes at 150 node scale. Nice. And so we're, obviously this is a, proof of concept and things like that. And, things and stuff are happening, but the TLDR is that we're making tools that are fast and really easy to use. So
rock on, man.
Awesome.
That's the TLDR. Yeah.
So can I think of IODict as SQLite, but for native Python dictionaries?
Kinda. Yeah, sure.
Kinda. I'm a simple man, so I need things explained simply.
It's quite literally you implement the you instantiate it, and then you treat it just like a dictionary. Mm-hmm. It's a hash if you're coming out of the world of other languages, but yeah, that's all it is.
Nice.
So yeah, you just give it a path, and then it'll store the objects there. Mm-hmm. The objects are pickled, so it just has to be pickleable. So you can't put things like multiprocessing in there because that's not allowed. There's an authorization key that will get rejected, and it won't pickle. So there's that, but it will let you store pretty much everything else.
Nice.
Cool. And is it a file per dictionary?
It's file per key.
Okay. So will it create like a file structure, like a directory structure?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
so it's kind of like similar to how etcd stores keys and values, represented as kind of a directory structure.
Similar, yeah. So the it's using SHA-3 224 for its hashing, and so
Mhm.
the key itself is stored in the directory structure. You know, if it's structured like an object store.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Cool.
So this sounds almost like a perfect opportunity for us to use this for this, so we don't have to worry about it. We just store the data whenever we need. So we can store. It's a key value store, right? So we can do.
Yeah.
Well, actually, hold on.
You-
Hang on. Sorry, I'm getting lost already in my thoughts. Give me a
So if you
second.
wanted to compare, so JJ's use case is scraping an API and
Mhm.
dumping the output somewhere. So as you're creating those, would you generally create a file per time you collect it? I would say so, right? And then,
Probably, yeah. Yeah, use like the date object as the key and then
right.
and then store the value. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then we can just kind of use standard directory traversal and stuff to figure out what files are relevant to doing a lookup against date ranges or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, so you could it's an ordered dictionary.
Mm-hmm.
So if you put the date range in there, that would just give you a friendly way of looking it up, right?
Uh-huh.
But as you collect it, you know, you're like, here it is, collection 1. The key could be 1, and then the next one is 2, and then you could compare it. Where was I at the beginning, and where am I now?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it has all the same dictionary implementation, so you can do data, date, value, and then when you want to compare them all, you just do items and iterate through it all. You'll get the key and the value.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. I was coming in at a completely different angle where I was like, I'll use epoch time, figure out what
Sure.
20 minutes and seconds are, and then compare those two.
Totally. You could do that. I mean, you can also do nested dictionaries. So you could say
Oh, that's
key
true.
is Bitcoin, and then nested key is date range, and then nested value is whatever the value is.
What do you think, Paul?
But yeah, it's just a data store thing.
Yeah.
You don't have to use it. It's the thing. We wrote it.
No. Hey, man, you're here. It's a neat idea, and it's adding another layer of. So we don't have to worry about like using what is it, SQL Alchemy or whatever to talk to like SQL Alchemy and all that stuff, because by just importing IODict, we'll have access to. So is it stored as a binary? Is it stored? How is it stored on the actual file system?
It's stored as well. It's each key is hashed, and then the pickled value is
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you said that
stored
right. I'm
in the
sorry.
file. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was completely. It was like a yeah.
So yeah, to create your dictionary, all you need to do now is you've got iodict imported, so iodict.iodict, and give it the path,
Yep.
and thus
So
endeth the trick.
I like it. We'll just jump to some main for right now because I don't care. And then we'll do create a temporary directory here. Just to see it work. And then what we'll do is what we can do is I'm just going to be bad for now. We're going to get this to work and then we're going to fix it up.
Isn't that how all coding works? You get it to
Yeah.
work and then you go and yell at Stack Overflow until you figure out how to actually do it for real.
Well,
Pretty
no, then
much.
you sell it, and then you go to Stack Overflow, and yeah.
Yeah.
That's how that's done.
So we'll pull that into the R and then
Wait, shouldn't that be a get?
good call. So we'll pull that into requests. Oh, I haven't imported requests.
We need to
yet.
import requests. Yeah.
I feel like there should be a Python VS Code library that sees you doing stuff like request dot and then just goes and imports the right thing.
I think it does that. If you have the new Python
I thought I did have that.
interpreter application thingamy, if it believes that it can make a better decision for you, it does. I believe.
Pretty sure I have that installed. This one? Not that one. Yeah. Whatever.
Anyway, let's not get lost.
Yeah. Not like we do that too often, right? And then we'll do is we'll create this as a .json, right? So then
Hang on. Why are you overriding?
because we want it as JSON, don't we? No.
R is your request object, and
Right.
then .json is a return whatever the get value was
So we don't want
as
to do it like
a
this,
JSON
right?
object. So you'd want that to be. Can I? Am I in your thingamy? I think I'm in the thingamy.
Yeah, try one more time. Click on it. I think I just have to accept you.
Well, so I think r.json will give you the JSON payload from the request, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So you would do go back to the iodict instructions, like
I have to do all the authorizations.
So you can just do that data key equals value and just
or just dump it in there.
Change the key to your date or whatever you want it to be, and then the value is r.json, right?
Yeah.
Word.
Actually, no, it wouldn't be r.json. It'll be r. whatever gives you like the raw dictionary, because it doesn't even need to be JSON, right?
It doesn't need to be JSON. Yeah, you can just store the whole value there, and then you can go get the JSON later.
So like this.
Yeah, that'll do.
And then we can just do print data just to see what it comes out as. Right?
Sure. As long as print will figure out that it's a you can import pretty print or something, and that way you can get a less ugly version. I don't remember the syntax for pretty print, but I think it's pretty straightforward.
Isn't it like just PP? Oh, there we go.
Oh, look at me.
Hey, Kevin, how you doing, buddy?
This is literally the first time I've ever done this thing of me.
Is it pp dot like print? Come on, there'd be a capital P, or is that maybe that's a Go thing, right?
What do we want to do? Sorry.
Pretty print out the JSON blob that we grabbed.
Oh, I'd do something like
pp.pprint.
Oh, it's two P's in the P print. Okay, I see what you're doing, Kevin. See, this is what happens when you actually have someone who writes Python all day come in and help you.
Something like that. But this would be a function. Like that.
That is not where I was going, but that works. So we'll do Python.
I don't know if that works, but but it's a thing.
We need to import OS. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Could not find the path of the file system. Do we need to touch this first?
Does
iodict is a directory, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So why don't we do?
Does
it's not letting me type.
What? There
Oh,
you
it
go.
doesn't let me type in the terminal. Interesting.
Oh, really?
Does that work?
Make read white. There we go. I should be able to do now.
Nope.
You got to admit, this little VS Code thing's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Are we using the right version of Python for?
Oh no. The
IOD?
attribute error is that there's no xadder. OS has no attribute get xadder.
What does that mean?
It means that get xadder doesn't work in Mac OS.
Oh, that's not good. Did I find a bug with your software?
Negative.
You found a bug with your OS.
Yes.
Exactly.
So you could just do this for now. Same API. That should work. Does that run?
Raise must be a string. Right, not a dict.
Oh,
Oh,
there you go.
Hey, there we go. Nice.
Now I
So
just
does
got to
that-
go find a Mac OS system to make IODict work on it.
I mean, we're running on one right now.
Yeah.
It's true.
Let's fix
actually-
it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I'm trying to
It's
figure out how to get-
it uses xadders for setting, the birth time and things like that, which is how it keeps track of it, assuming stats available. So it seems like that's
So
not available in Mac OS.
So xadder is get xadder here. Get xadder. It's in the it might be a BSD GNU differencey thing, right?
Very possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
So probably what you need to be looking at is the Python OS library, right? Oh no, because that's the same on both.
Yeah.
Huh.
Think about it. Hang on. Well, where is IO?
Yeah. If I look at the standard library, it doesn't say anything specific about Mac OS, but
We're gonna figure this out. Don't worry. Oh yeah, I guess it would be in.
yeah, it says it looks like it's doing the right thing according to the docs. It says it raises an auditing event os.getAttr with arguments path and attribute if the operating system doesn't support extended attributes. So, which seems like the file system does not. This is the trouble of writing everything on Linux. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Somebody may have crossed this path before.
See, we already sold it. Now we're consulting the Stack Overflow, like we were saying
Right.
before. We're bringing it full circle now. Yeah.
Looks like.
Well, he's got a different error.
Oh, he does, doesn't he? Okay, never mind. That was close. By close, I mean very far away. All right, so we pull that.
Oh, okay.
and-
So short story. I will copy the link and I'll send it to you over in IRC
Mhm.
in the IRC.
Oh, I just found that one.
Yep. So the short story seems that due to Mac OS X, Xadder has been disabled, and there's a Python issue for it.
Right.
So there it
Oh.
is.
Yeah. Hmm. That's sad.
Sad, sad. Womp womp. Sad trombone.
It really is. So I guess you'd have to add a brand new feature to get around what's this doing to
Pretty much. Yeah.
IODict. Yeah. To get it to work on a Mac. Or just put in a check. So if you are doing this on a Mac, like dance around.
I don't think.
No.
I mean, yeah, you'd have to solve it in IODict anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not, it's using the standard library. So I'm not importing anything special or
Mm-hmm.
doing anything different or otherwise, even remotely unique. So I just need to, it looks like all of the Xadder functions do not work on Mac OS. So,
Well.
I mean, it's good to know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which you're only actually using it that one time. So if you can find that, like, an alternative way to get to the.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm already thinking about it. Like from a hashing function, instead of using SHA-3224, just use the date range as the item hash, and store it that way, or just stat it and hope the operating system has the right value. The whole reason that it's setting the Xadders is so that it's storing when the item was actually created, because the creation date and the birth time are not guaranteed. So
Right.
yeah, M time will only return. Well, M time will return when the object was made or modified. Right, it gets updated any of those times. And birth time is not guaranteed to exist. So probably, yeah, just need to like, oh, I'm running on, what is it, HSF plus or something like that, and just fall back to alternative hashing.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good to know.
Learned something today. That's always good. Not like
I
our
assume
normal.
what does Mac OS run file system wise these days? Isn't it HSF plus?
That sounds right.
Or there was another file system that they were using for a bit. It was like AS something, ASP. I don't know.
Yeah, APFS.
That's the one.
What was the one that the author of it is in jail for murdering his wife or whatever? What was that file system?
Riser.
That's it.
Murder FS.
Yeah, Murder FS.
That's what that was called.
Sometimes you just have to take the passenger seat of your car out of your car to wash it. You know, sometimes it's just sometimes you gotta do it, right?
That's a thing. Yeah.
Oh god, can't believe so crazy.
That got dark.
I think I vaguely remember using Riser FS for like a high-speed mail server back in the day or something like that.
Yes, yeah. Riser was awesome, like way ahead of its time in terms of access speed, write speed, everything. It was just it was a very cool file system.
Yep. Like the body, very cool, very cool, very cool.
Very cool. Yeah.
After no, that was bad. I know.
I don't know the reference you're making, JJ.
The dead body goes cooled down.
Oh, JJ! Wow.
See,
you
it got dark. It got dark.
Got real dark.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's pivot again.
So it sounds like we need to store your JSON some other way.
Yes.
Is there like a in-memory version of Mongo or something we can use, or
Just use a dictionary.
Yeah,
Or
but
is it a daemon that you're
well, yeah,
writing, or is it
we'll want it to like write to somewhere that something else can then read from.
Yeah.
So
fair?
we need a database of some sort, and we're already dealing with JSON, so we might as well use something that's
A
JSON friendly,
Mongo,
so we don't need to.
a Redis.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Redis is always the thing people always go to, right? And it's not as heavy as Mongo.
MonGodB.
Yeah. Okay, so if we were going to, can we do this in 15 minutes? Let's see. Redis, Python.
You got to run Redis somewhere.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm going to run on my local machine. Do I have Redis on this?
You could probably use the
Is there a brew? Let's see.
I
It's
mean,
got to be.
here we go. You could just run Redis in a Docker, and that way you can just include a Docker thingamajiggy, and then just worry about it later.
Yeah, I guess it's true.
there's I linked you to another library called Discache. It's something I've used before. It has a very similar function, but it uses SQLite on the back end.
Oh, there's also Redis Lite.
There you go.
Redis Lite?
Yeah. It's in Python. It's a self-configuring Redis key value store in a Python module. Makes it possible to use Redis without need to install and configure a Redis server.
Ooh.
So I bet you can use Redis Lite and then down the track just switch to like a command line option to use a real Redis or something.
Sounds like a plan. I broke that. That's fine. Close that. So we'll go ahead and come over here. Oh, shit. Where'd I do my terminal? No. Go away. Go away. Okay, so that was pip install Redis Lite. There we go. And then from Redis Lite, import Redis. Okay, and we create a connection to the Redis DB, which will be right here. And no more IO dict. That's fine. Sorry, Kevin.
No, you're good. It's all good. It's just software.
That's true.
It's all terrible.
It really is all terrible. It really is. And then we'll set this value. And this. And then this will be, we'll stick with the 1 for now just because we want to see this just work first. And this up here.
Well, hang on. It's Redis, so it's going to be JSON, so you need it to be the JSON dumps.
Ah, good call.
Sorry, or you need it to be. Yeah, undo that, so you get back to the R equals or whatever you had.
There you go. You can do it now.
So we want this to come up to here, right? You don't want that. You want R equals, and then you want too many dots, right?
I think so.
Something like that.
So this creates the connection. We go out and grab it. We set the JSON inside of there, and then we print it back out from it. Oh, almost. Oh, did we not save it? We're going to try again. Nope.
Valid input type dict. Did we need this to be JSON dumps?
I mean,
This
it
needs
would
to be a
that would turn
string.
it into a string.
Yeah.
Does it need to be a
Right.
string?
No, it shouldn't
Yeah,
need to be. Does it need to be a string?
Yeah, valid input type dict. It needs to be a string. So hey,
There we go.
nice.
Oh, I guess so. R.JSON is actually giving you a
It's returning back a dictionary.
dictionary, right,
Yeah.
of the JSON, and so we need to get it back to JSON, a string. Yeah, okay.
So you
Makes
could
sense.
probably what is it? The content, r.content.
Yeah,
Would probably just return the raw string, and then you don't have to format it or do
Right.
anything.
I think that's what I was looking for. So let's try that. R.content.
I think that's I think it's r.content.
But it's probably also that, right?
So with this,
No, I think it's just r.content. I think it's its own attribute.
bytes object not called. Oh no, you didn't save it, Paul.
Oh, my bad. It's r.text. Had to go read RTFM.
Eventually.
Yeah, there we go.
Nice.
Right. And then so if
So-
we look in temp, we have redis.db, and there's some garbage binary we can't actually read.
Yep.
What did you just do?
What do you mean?
There's
Somebody
many.
someone just pasted something 9 times.
Whoa.
That is
hang
not.
on.
My hands aren't on the keyboard. I didn't touch it.
There you go. Fix it. But this needs to be text, right? There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. So the advantage here by not using something like SQLite is now we have a idempotent storage as long as this DB exists, that we don't have to worry about anything, that we can control the key value store here by just pulling this information and dumping it in here, right? Is that right? Or am I wrong?
I know the words you said, but I don't know what they mean. I mean, basically, we have a Redis database without actually needing a Redis running. So it's the equivalent of running SQLite, but we don't have to like massage the data to fit into like SQL queries.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, cool.
And then at some point when we have a real Redis, we can just change that Redis connection equals to be accessing the real Redis, and we should be able to use the same. The rest of it should still work.
Yeah, exactly.
Assuming it's a valid implementation of Redis and not something bastardized.
Yeah, which is actually a really big plus for my learning, which is something I'm really appreciative right now, because I've learned how to do all this stuff with SQLite, but I haven't figured out a way to run SQLite in a like production way, right?
SQLite's always production.
You know what I mean?
It was made
just-
for production.
You just DRBD across a bunch of servers, right?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, exactly.
You use NFS for if you want to go,
well,
hyperscale
I mean,
to the edge.
right, and then you call it a hyperledger, right, or a blockchain.
Yeah.
No.
That is
And
like
then
those
you
are
can-
blocks on the chain, right?
Yeah, and then you
Yeah,
can put that into your SEC filing.
Yeah. So let's screenshot this so we can mint this NFT.
It all comes back. It all comes back. Oh my god. All right. Well, this has been just we're coming up to the hour. We got the first
Wow,
bit
it took
of
us
done.
an hour to write 18 lines of code, of which 16 lines are boilerplate.
But we did learn quite a bit. At least I did.
True.
And we did get to play with IODict, which is pretty cool. And actually learn some.
I mean, it would be cool if it worked.
Yeah. I mean, once you upgrade it to a functional computer, it should work just fine. Yeah.
Oh, I see how it is.
Yeah.
I see how it is.
I have to go. I'm gonna go commandeer my wife's Mac, later on this afternoon, so I can make IODict work there.
There you go. Okay, cool. Well, we'll be back next week. Kevin, if you're around, you're more than welcome to join us. And we'll continue on with this little project. It won't take much longer because the hardest part was to get something storage. So now it's all just manipulating data back and forth. We're just going to make that happen. But if you don't know, next week, next Monday, right, Kevin?
Indeed.
What are we doing?
We're gonna OpenStack.
Yeah.
Wait, that's still a thing?
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
I
I thought it was open infrastructure now or something.
It is. Yeah, we're going to be. The project is OpenStack.
Gotcha.
The organization is open infrastructure.
Nice.
Indeed.
Yeah.
It's a thing. It's the thing. It's the thing. It's gonna be fun.
So what are you all open stacking? I'm intrigued. What are we doing?
JJ.
Yeah. So we are going to be using RDO to install OpenStack on a controller VM and 3 bare metal machines.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going
In
to do
top layer, right? I assume.
Yep. And we're going to do it the Red Hat way. We're going to start from the very beginning, where we've talk about the infrastructure of what we're doing, and actually try to get it built over the next 3 weeks. Where Kevin and I are just going to kind of bash our heads against it. He's done it quite a few times. Our goal is to basically have knowledge, like a shared video of us figuring this out. OpenStack is still very relevant to a lot of enterprises out there. And RDO is a really, I wouldn't say easy, that's the wrong word, but it is a very happy path way of getting OpenStack up and running. But it's a beast to get your arms around. So having Kevin kind of walk me through it and walk us through a relatively simple infrastructure to build it out. Hopefully after those 3 weeks, we'll have a working cloud. Right, Kevin?
Indeed.
Cool. And then you can install OpenShift on top.
Indeed.
That's the plan.
That's the end goal.
Right?
Yeah.
And in fact, you could use you could run Red Hat Advanced Cluster Manager in a IBM Cloud OpenShift, and then use that to create OpenShift clusters automatically on your RDO cloud.
We were tinkering around with it. You've got the public IP space options are pretty good. So it's I don't see that as far fetched as that sounds. It doesn't seem like it actually is that far fetched. Yeah.
And
we can federate and franchise. It's just that easy.
Just that easy.
Just that easy. So, and there's not many people who've gone down this path before, but that people have, and to see us going down this path, we'll be able to say that somebody's done this, and it actually, and we recorded it and walked you through it. So you want to actually do this in your data center? Here are maybe 3 engineers if Paul decides to join us, doing this.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
So that we would be 3 Frengineers, I believe.
Frengineers,
Hey,
indeed.
Frengineers. Yeah.
Indeed. I'll trade up my my
Or
sparkling water for a beer, and we
or
can
maybe
make this happen.
acquaintance in ears or something.
Yeah.
Seriously. Oh, that's great. That's great. All right, gentlemen. Well, I guess till Monday.
Indeed. It's been real. It's been nice. Appreciate you having me on last minute and all. I'm sorry for hijacking your thingamies and failing to deliver. It was good. It was a good time.
The
I mean,
door's always
we would have just failed to deliver on our own, so it's fine.
true.
But yeah,
Alright.
by Monday, IO-Dict is going to work on a Mac.
Perfect. All right.
All right.
Say bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.